All right, guys. So yesterday we did compositions of functions where we would take a number and plug it into a equation. Today we're going to take an equation and plug it into an equation. So go ahead and get out your composition books. Let's label the top as 5-2, 5-3 compositions. Composition of functions. All right, I am going to give you the same, it's kind of ugly up there. Let me fix that. I'm going to give you the same functions as yesterday. So we have f of x, 2x minus 1, g of x, 3x, and h of x, x squared plus 1. Okay, so same exact ones as yesterday. Let's start off with doing f of x plus 1. So we're starting easy. So remember, all we do is we take what's in parentheses and where do we plug it? We plug it right into the x. So I'm just going to write 2x minus 1. That's our function. Right here for the x is where I'm going to plug in the x plus 1. So I have 2 times x plus 1, and then don't forget, you still have the minus 1. And then you have to simplify this. You can't just leave it like this. So let's do the distributive property. Still have my minus 1. And then let's simplify. 2 minus 1 is just 1. Okay? All right, now let's try another one. So you're not really getting an answer, you guys. You're getting an expression. All right, let's try g of 3a. Okay, so let's write our function down first. So here is g right here. So the function is 3x. So where you see this x right here, that's where you put the 3a. So we have 3 times 3a. And again, don't leave it like that. You've got to simplify it. What's 3 times 3a? 9a. So again, not getting an answer, you're getting an expression. All right, let's go one more. And this is a harder one. Can I fit it over here? I'm going to try to. H x minus 2. Okay, let's go ahead and write the function down. So the function is x squared plus 1. So right where this x is, I'm going to put in x minus 2. So x minus 2 squared plus 1. Okay, now this is why it's the hardest one. When you have this little baby 2, that means that there's 2 of these. So you have x minus 2, x minus 2. Still have our plus 1. I'm going to go ahead and distribute this. Sometimes your teacher calls it FOIL, distribute, something like that. So I'm going to take this x right here, and I'm going to multiply it by this x and this 2. So x times x times negative 2. Then I'm going to take this negative 2 and do the same thing. Negative 2 times x, negative 2 times negative 2. I still have the plus 1. Now all I need to do is simplify this and I'm done. So these two negative 2x's need to go together, negative 4x, and then 4 and 1 is 5. And there it is. So that one is the hardest because you had to do a little distributive property. All right, now let's go a smidge harder. I'm going to give you new functions. So we have f of x equals negative 3x plus 7. And then we're going to do g of x equals 2x squared minus 8. First guy we're going to do is f of g of x. All right, so I'm writing it a little bit differently than the ones on the top, but you guys, it's the same thing. If you want to write it as f, and then instead of writing g of x, actually write in what g of x is 2x squared minus 8. See how now it's the same thing as the thing on the top? So all I did is that I replaced the g of x, which was what it had over here. So let's write down our function. Our function is negative 3x plus 7. So right where this x is, right there, I'm going to plug in my 2x squared minus 8. So negative 3, plug it in, 2x squared minus 8. Still have the plus 7. Okay? Now we have to distribute and kind of simplify. So negative 3 times 2x squared is negative 6x squared. Negative 3 times 8 is positive 24. And then again, we still have our plus 7. So what is the last thing I have to do? Yeah, just combine these two like terms right here. So I have negative 6x squared plus 31. Done. So again, even if they show you the composition written like this, it's the same thing. Let's try another one. Let's do number 2. Number 2 is I can't even read letters today. G of f of x. Now, I wrote it with a little circle. But remember, when we do the circle, all that means it's the same thing as this. It's the same exact thing. So, if you want it to look like the ones above, replace that f of x. So you have g, and then f of x is negative 3x plus 7. Okay, so let's write down our function, 2x squared minus 8. So right where this x is right here, I'm going to put the new expression. So I have the 2, negative 3x plus 7, still got the squared, minus 8. See how all I did is I replaced the x with what is in the parenthesis. Oh man, it's got the little 2 on it. So it's going to be a little harder. What does the 2 mean again? How many of these are there? Good, there's 2 of them. So I'm just going to rewrite it over here. I've got 2, and I have 2 negative 3x's plus 7. Don't forget your minus 8. You're going to squeeze them over there. Ooh, look at them, looking all crazy. All right, now let's do the distributive property. Just keep that 2 on the outside. Just keep them kind of hanging out with you. Let's start with the negative 3x. So negative 3x times negative 3x is positive 9x squared. Negative 3x times positive 7 is what? Is that 21? I don't know. It's summer, you guys, when I'm taping this. I don't know. My brain isn't working. Negative 21x. Now let's go over to the 7. Again, I'm just distributing everything. 7 times negative 3x. 7 times 7 is 49. And don't forget, you still have your minus 8. These are the hardest ones when I give you a square. It takes longer. All right, now I just kind of have to put some stuff together. So I still have my 9x squared, but now I'll put those middle together. I have 42. Still got my 49, and still got my minus 8. What do you think we have to do? I've got 2 things left to do. Yep, you got to distribute that 2. And then we are going to end up minus an 8 here in a minute. So let's distribute the 2. 2 times 9. 2 times 42. 2 times 49. This is getting the brain. Get in the brain. 98. And I still have the minus 8. So now what? Yep, all I got to do is fix that bottom. So what is 98 minus 8? 90. So 18x squared minus 84x plus 90. So again, anytime you get the squared, it will be harder. But I just want you to know, composition is just taking one thing and plugging it into the other thing. You've already done substitution methods so many times. You can do this. Try your practice problems.